Just walking my dog. So I figured I have a few minutes to sort of, run my mouth, essentially. So I will do that. Anyway, so I wanted to share some thoughts on when you first move into a van, if that's something that you're considering or in the process of doing. And that it's don't expect to just jump in there and be comfortable and sort of not feel the impact of a life-changing, situation like that, because it is life-changing. So I know in your mind you're like, oh, cool, I'm just gonna live in this little cozy apartment, and that is the case. But it takes some adjusting because you lose some of the comforts that you take for granted pretty much your whole life. Most of us, anyway, the lucky ones, have lived in some type of a heated or temperature-controlled shelter with running water, usually hot water, and a bathroom, and a shower, and a fridge full of food. Like I said, most of us, not all of us, but a good chunk of the population in this country. So that's what you're used to. Even don't underestimate your reliance on those things. So when you first make that dive into a van or RV or something, even you're gonna feel a little bit uncomfortable. You're gonna feel some discomforts. But don't let that discourage you, because it's an adjustment period, and you have to adjust. I think it's a great direction to go for some people. I guess it's not for everybody, but I think it's potentially a really good experience and a great direction to go, because it forces you to sort of live within with just the basic necessities of life. Like I was even, for example, I designed a sink, like with running water, for the van, and then I realized it just doesn't really make sense to have that in there currently. Anyway, it just I realized as I was making it that my main reason for making it was not for the functionality, which I could get some wipes and use that to wipe my hands. I don't really need running water in there. My main reason for making it was to make it more cozy and not to feel like a bum, because all that stigma that society places on somebody living in a vehicle, you may think that you're not affected by it, you're above it all, but you are to some degree affected by it. And I guess having running water, perhaps with some wood panels or something in your vehicle, will make you feel like you're in a small home as opposed to living in a car, which society really frowns upon. So then I realized, fuck it. You know what? I don't really need this thing. I don't need this giant water tank and sink. It's so cumbersome. I don't really need this stuff in the van. I'll do without for now, because I get up at 6 a.m. like I said, and I go and I hang out with my kids, and I go to work, and then I don't really come back till like 10 p.m. So I really just sleep in there. I don't spend that much time in there currently. I'd like to spend more time if I get to travel at some point, but I don't see that in my immediate future. So I don't really need that sink in there, so I'm just gonna pull that out. In fact, I realize I like space more than I like things. So just kind of a Taoist concept, I guess. Just not to sound like a snob, but I kind of am, so it comes off that way. But my dog's taking a poop, so I gotta pick it up. Anyway, so I may get distracted a little bit, but from the point I was trying to make. But yeah, the point is, don't expect to be super comfortable as soon as you dive into this lifestyle, and don't expect to, be so uncomfortable, and do expect to give yourself some time to transition. Your mind, your body, everything has to transition into. But the freedom that comes with it is amazing, because you realize, like, shit, I could actually live anywhere I want. That's amazing. I mean, that is incredible. Like, you could pay $1 million for a house, work your life away, bust your ass, the stress that comes with that, and okay, well, if you could, the best view that you could afford, okay, cool, you got that now, But that's it. That's the view you're going to be staring at for the rest of your life, unless you travel, during vacation time and whatnot. But, the point I'm trying to make is, I'm kind of blabbing on and on right now, but the point is, it's the payoff, the trade-off is great. Like, you give up some comfort, but what is comfort? What do you need it for? Is it essential in your life? We've only had comfort for about maybe 100 years for the most part. People used to, live in wood cabins with like burning stoves, and they used to go to the outhouse to shit. So this idea of comfort is fairly new, and it's not essential to your life. So I guess that's, and so if you could just learn to live without, you've become so accustomed to these comforts. It's the consumerist society that that's what stimulates the economy and blah blah, and that's why we have what we have. And I guess having the luxury of, I never really held down a full-time job, and the fact that I could afford, well, I own a business, but the fact is that I haven't worked that hard to be able to afford a vehicle. But I guess it's such a, kind of getting off subject here, but we live with so much excess in the society that I read a statistic that most people buy a new car every 6 years. That's insane. Let me walk this way. The sun is behind me. That's insane. But you know what? To somebody who wants to live frugal, that's a godsend, because you could go to a thrift store and buy all your clothes for a fraction of what someone else paid for them and just toss them away because they got bored. And also you could buy a car because it's not pretty anymore, or people are embarrassed to drive it because it's got a dent in it or whatever, or it's older than what your lifestyle, like it's older than what you don't want to be seen in an older car or something or whatever. So I bought this van for $1,500. I guess I got pretty lucky because mechanically it was well maintained, but it looks like shit. But that's great. That's awesome for me, because that means no one's gonna try to rob it. No one's gonna try to get into it because it looks like a piece of shit. It looks like a poor man's car, which it is. But that's actually an advantage to me, because like I said, it makes it much less likely to get broken into. No one's gonna take the chance of breaking into a car, that looks like, that's 20 years old and looks like it belongs in a junkyard, or is driven by some scrap metal person. We have a lot of these people around here who have these old vans like mine, who drive around and collect scrap metal. That's what they do for a living. And they just, so anyway, so it looks like one of those vans, and ain't nothing in there. Usually those vans are full of scrap metal or just empty. So, yeah. So the point was, give yourself, if you're going to consider this lifestyle, or if you're in the process of doing it, just give yourself time to adjust. The first night I slept in the van, I was fucking freezing, uncomfortable. I didn't sleep, well at all. And then I prepared a little bit more for when I came back the next night. And I was that much more comfortable. And then guess what? I did more research and I made more adjustments. I bought some wool socks and I was more comfortable. And I bought a sleeping bag and I was even more comfortable. Got a heater. So yeah, basically, it's a process. It's not like a revolutionary process where overnight you flip a switch and you're a different person in a different life. That that doesn't really happen because you're used to your way of living. But it's an evolutionary process where it may take you a week, it may take you 2 days, it may take you a year to make that adjustment, or you may just realize that it's not for you, that you just can't live without the comforts. That's fine too. But you got to pay for those comforts. And for me, the most valuable resource and is not a comfort. For me, the most valuable resource is your time. And when you have to trade your time for money, which then you give away for comfort, that equation doesn't really work for me. I would rather have little money. I mean, I have to have a certain amount of money because I want to provide for my children. But at least I can cut myself out of that equation. I prefer to sacrifice on the comforts and have a little bit more time to just do the things I like to do in life. So basically that's the trade-off. You trade off comfort for life. Essentially, that's my definition. I mean, that's what makes sense to me. Is that your time and your ability to spend it however you like is precious, more precious than a bubble bath or something. So with that, I'm signing off. I don't know if this post made any sense, but I think there was some good points in there. All right, peace out.